Welcome back to Breakfast Central. Of course, it's time for Trendwave, where we look at some of the biggest stories making the trends around the continent. Now, this morning we have Elizabeth Musa and Osaogi Ogbonwa in the studio. Hello, lady and gentlemen. Liz, I really like being in your side of the studio. We should try
really,
to
you do. I don't know if I like being here. Good morning to you, Olive. Good morning
Good
to
morning.
you. Okay.
I've seen some really unfortunate incidents in the Adeleke family, I would say. And it seems that social media has now become the court of public opinion.
It's always been. I mean, so now this time around, Nigerian singer Sina Rambo's wife, Heidi Korth, has called out her husband over alleged domestic violence. Korth took to her Instagram story on Monday to accuse Sina Rambo and his sister of violence as she shared videos, chats, and pictures to prove her claims. Korth has also called out her husband, who is the son of the Osun State governor, Ademola Adeleke, for debt, asking him to pay back the money he owed her. Now, that's the post you can see on the screen. Now, she shared this receipt, a receipt of the money she sent to him, 10,000 naira precisely, and went on to say that later they will say, Adeleke is my only achievement. Shino, pay me my money you owe me from America and Nigeria. Beg, beg. How many people do you have to fight with over bills? Or is it until they jack you at your neck like it just happened? And she went on to say that Shina's sister has also inflicted an injury on her own hand. And she added that the marriage was over as she refused to succumb to abuse again. Now, this has led to mixed reactions on the social media space. And we'll take a look at these reactions very quickly. That one is from Rarole. Rarole says, Nigerians honestly think that paying a bride price means the wife is their property and that she should accept any type of abuse and irresponsibility because of yeye dowry. That's why we don't accept more than $1 where I come from, because you cannot buy the women where I come from. So anyhow, and she will return to her home, because what is this? That's a big question from Rarole. This one is from sense_18200. Sense says, some people just read without understanding. This lady is just trying to say, as big as they claim they are, is asking for 10,000 naira. There's nothing obviously wrong with sending your husband money, but in her own way, she's trying to prove her point. You guys saying broke does not mean someone is abusive. That's why she said, wait for more evidence. You guys are just quick to judge. Now, wow, the court of public opinion. And this one is I Am Zubi. I Am Zubi says, you didn't tell us about all the good things he has done for you and all the good times you've shared together that made you agree to marry him. This is biased and one-sided story. I Am Zubi has this to say. King FB says, there's always two sides to a story. What did you do to team up to get that violent? Ladies be out here wanting to call a man out, but frustrate the man to the point that he acts out, and then you all go running over internet talking about abuse. Go for counseling and work out your differences. That one is from King FB. Of course, that's how people are reacting to this story on social media. Of course, there are more reactions on this story, but let's go to Twitter, where a young lady simply identified as Kemi on social media has created an ongoing conversation after she has shared reasons why she stopped buying gifts for men. She made this in a post where she referenced her terrible experiences after 2 trials. According to Kemi, twice after her attempt to impress the men in her lives with gifts, a gesture of love was treated with ungratefulness. And that's the post by Small Girl Big God. She said, I stopped buying gifts for men since my 2 worst experiences. I got a t-shirt for the first one, and next time I visited, it was his rag. I got a birthday cake for the second one, and he gave it out to his neighbors in my presence. Ever since then, I vowed never to get men gifts. Now, this post has also, as always, stirred so many reactions from both men and women. Some men even went ahead to advise her to probably buy a man a car or a PlayStation 5 the next time. MC Marco Polo went on to say, sometimes it's not just that they don't appreciate, maybe it's just the wrong gift with the right intentions. Let me explain. If you buy cake for me, I would totally appreciate the gesture, but might give it to someone because I don't like cakes. It's a gesture that matters. That is from MC Marco Polo. We'll take a look at more reactions. Diva Ella says, try knowing what your partner loves and gifting him exactly that. Love him in his love language, not yours. Because not all men eat cakes though. Not advisable. That comment is from Diva Ella. We'll take a look at more reactions on this story. Nena says, some people don't like material gifts. They love money, and those things you mention might be things he doesn't like. Observe the things that makes him happy and do it for him. Gifts might not be his love language, and if you do something for a person, get your mind off it. I agree with that one, actually. We'll take a look at more reactions of this story. Elio Polik says, change our car tires, buy him PlayStation 5, Tom Ford perfumes, day, buy T-shirt, wristwatches, day, Apple watches. He would never dash these types of gifts out. That's from Helio. And Official Ibidun says, they probably don't like them. I guess we should always try to inquire what they like and what they don't like. Well, those are the stories I can bring for you on Trendwave this morning. Quite interesting if you ask me. Or what do you think about this, Osaoge?
I agree. I mean, I agree with the two people who said, you find out what they like. You don't just give someone a gift and then expect that they will roll on the floor. Some people may not also be good with receiving gifts. Men generally are not very good with receiving gifts because they never receive anything. But find out what the person likes, and find out what his love language is. And when you give someone a gift, take your mind off it. You've given it already. If I know Olive has something to say about gifting.
Of course I do. I certainly.
But hey, that I agree with. But I also would mention, and apologize because time, the person who said something about what Sina Rambo's wife did to him to make him that angry. Those are the kind of men that you need to be very, very
let me take that
watchful
comment.
Because you should never. There's no excuse whatsoever, for domestic violence or physical abuse.
Never.
Nothing ever, should be made, as a reasonable excuse. So I noticed that statement and I said I must mention it.
There's something that they really say about great minds. They do think alike, because Osaoge really highlighted what I wanted to say. King, I even remember his handle. King H-E, I don't know how that's pronounced, Hep-B or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says there's always two sides to a story. What did you do to piss him off to get that violent? Can we please take off the comment here? Because it was at that point that he lost me. There is no way someone is abused or talks about being physically abused, and your first response is, what did you do to make them that violent?
It's just wrong on all levels.
It's just, apologize. Say you're sorry or whatever, but it's likening it to the rape culture where a woman is raped and the first question you ask her is, what did you wear?
What were you putting
Why
on?
did you go to his house at that time of the night? These questions encourage rape culture. Now, this was wrong. This cannot, it's important to hear his own side of the story. But if she comes out and says she was physically abused and she has a case against him, then she should resolve it. The Lagos State Domestic Violence and Violence and Sexual Response Team handles matters like that. Now to the gifting conversation. There are two things to it. Like Osaoge had mentioned earlier, gift people in the way that you understand. Gift them what you understand. Oftentimes, we tend to gift people the way we want to be loved. But you're not communicating with them if you're gifting them the way you want to be loved. Give them in the way that they want to be loved. Now, the second angle, which we didn't mention, was even the person in this situation, you've received a gift, that's not your love language. Be kind about it, not giving out that gift in her presence. You should understand and judge the intent. The intent was from a place of love. So
Exactly
even if you don't eat the
yeah.
cake, and you want to give it out, not in her presence, I think we can be more emotionally sensitive.
I agree.
People should just continue giving gifts, and then again, I think people should just stop bringing their issues to social media, because then it makes it puts the public in your case.
Absolutely.
It's terrible.
That's debatable, but today is not the day for that debate. Thank you,
That's
Liz,
now.
for joining us.
Absolutely.
You should be thanking me because I'm on this side of the studio, so thank me, Liz.
Thank you all
Thank
for
you. I
joining
can
us.
see you're having so much fun there.
I am.